Hi, this is going to be the first in a series of videos that covers place value. This is mainly for the primary and intermediate grades when it comes to knowing what place value is, how to use it in different situations, getting familiar with the terms, and so on and so forth. Okay, this is going to be video one, so we're going to get to the most basic level first. Okay, first of all, let's talk about place value. What is place value? Well, it's made up of two words, place value, okay? And it's basically what it says. It's the value of a part of a number based on what place that it's in, okay? And you say value, what's value? Well, value is another word for worth. For example, when you're holding a quarter in your hand, the value of that quarter, of course, is 25 cents. If you have a dime in your hand, the value of that dime is 10 cents. Each thing has a value. Well, same thing here. Each place of a number has a value. Now, here's my term, place value. Okay. Now, there are three parts of place value that you need to know. First, we're going to start with these, and then we're going to move on to bigger ones later. Okay. We have the ones, we have the tens, and we have the hundreds. Now, I'm sure you've heard of all these. When you count in your ones, then you count by tens, you count by hundreds, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Tens, of course, is 10, 20, 30. Hundreds would be 100, 100, 200, 300, so on and so forth. Okay, so we're only going to focus on these, and like I said, I know there are larger ones out there. I know some of you are already saying, oh, but wait a minute, what about that? Yeah, I know. Let's work on these first. Let's get these down, and then we'll worry about those later. Now, you notice there are three of them, okay? What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how they work in a real number. Let's make one up here. You'll notice I wrote a number that's got three parts to it, or three numbers in it, because there are three parts here listed. Now, I want to get something straight with you before I move on to what they are. You'll notice I keep using the word parts. And you say, wait a minute, there are three numbers there. No. This is one number. Yes, this is one number. What you're talking about, these three things are not numbers. They're called digits. I'll write that on the side here. Digits. Okay? On your hand, each finger is called a digit. Same thing here. Each part of this big number is called a digit. So in this case, there are three digits in this number, just like there are 5 digits on your hand. 1, 2, 3. Okay? Now, once again, I wrote three of them because there are three things that I want to talk about. Now, the first thing that I listed up here is the ones. Okay? Now, that correlates, or that goes with this 4. Okay? There are 4 ones in this number. Okay? What I wrote next is the tens. And if you notice, I'm going from right to left. I know when we read a book, a sentence, and so on, or even a number, we go left to right. But for this case, because we're breaking down the number by place value, just like when we add, when we subtract, we always start on the right. Okay? So, think of it this way. When you add and subtract, multiply and all that, if you're not starting on the right, you're not doing it right. Okay? Right is right. So once again, 4 ones, 7 tens. This is not a 7. This is 7 groups of 10. Okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a letter O above here for ones. I'm going to put a T for tens. And what we got left? Hundreds, right? It's going to go above the 3 because this is not a 3. This is 300. 300, 300s, 7 tens, 4 ones. So how would I say this number? Now I could read it from left to right. It would be 374. 374. Because it's 300, 7 tens, 4 ones. 374. That's how we write it. Okay? I'm going to do another one with you. Another 3-digit number. Here you go. Now you tell me how many ones are in this number. 5. How many tens? 6. So what you're telling me is this is not a 6. This is 6 groups of 10 or 60. And how many hundreds are there? 2. So how do we say this number now? 265. 265. 265. And I know when we say numbers, sometimes you go 265. You don't need the end. It's just 265. Just like the other one was not 374. 374. 265. 200s, 6 tens, 5 ones. Now, to prove to you that I'm correct, I'm going to give you another 3-digit number. Okay? We read this 691. There are 600s, 9 tens, and 1 1. I'm going to do something, and I'm going to go into this further in another video. But I want to just show you now what we mean, why we say this is not a 6, this is not a 9. The only digit that is what you see is the ones. Because this is 1 1. Because it's the most basic. That's why we start on the right. Because it's the easiest one to know. Okay? This is 1 1. This is 9 tens or 90. And this is 600s or 600. If I were to stretch this out, in addition, to show you what it would look like, it would look like this. You see what I did? I broke it apart. By the way, this is called expanded form. I don't want to get too much into this now because we're going to talk about it in another video. So we'll worry about that later. But for now, I just want to show you why it is what it is. Okay? Now, here's your 1. Remember, that doesn't change. Here's a 9, but is it a 9? No, it's not a 9. It's 9 tens, also known as a 90. There's your 90 right there. Here's your 6. It's not a 6. It's 600 right there. 600 plus 90 plus 1 equals 691. 691. So that shows you now when I add all these up, this is what I get. I get 691. Okay? Just to show you that that's true. Here we go. I'm going to add it the old-fashioned way, going up and down, vertically. 1, 9, 6. There's your 691 right there. So remember, ones, tens, hundreds. When you add and subtract and all that, you start on the right, always, even though you read the number left to right like you would a sentence, you always break it down when you do your operations starting on the right. So remember, for today, hundreds, tens, ones from left to right. When you do your adding, subtracting, right to left. Okay? And remember, this is not a 9. That's a 90. This is not a 6. It's a 600. These are not numbers. These are digits. The whole thing put together, that's a number. Okay? Hope you found that helpful. You could always pause it, replay it, do what you have to do, take notes, maybe even make up some examples of your own. Hope you found that helpful.